Hello, I'm Oz.
And I'm Tom.
And we're here to present WineAlive's Summer Sipping Series.
We're here at the Pythouse kitchen garden in Wiltshire, and it is stunning.
And what's that stuff I can see coming out of the back of your head?
It's my intelligence floating away, Oz, moment by moment. It's a barbecue, isn't it? It's
a
great.
barbecue of beautiful, aromatic ash wood.
And we're here to talk about barbecue red wines. So Oz, what makes a great barbecue red for you?
Drinkability. The most fundamental thing about barbecues. Barbecues are supposed to be about relaxation. Yeah. They're supposed to be about lack of formality. And the wine has to be drinkable, not too subtle, not too intellectual, not too challenging and demanding, just a decent glass, a decent mouthful, which you can repeat again and again and again.
I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. This is the moment where I'm choosing a wine that actually is almost unlike any other. If I've got friends coming over for dinner in any other circumstance, I'm looking for something with elegance, with multiple layers of complexity, something that might even evolve over the time that they're there and you can keep going back to. Actually, when the sun's out, when you're in the garden, barbecue's on, I want flavour, I want intensity, I want joy, I want vibrancy.
Which is the same with the food, of course.
100%.
I mean, when I see that great chopper over there,
exactly.
I'd like to take it and whack it into about 20 different sort of pork ribs, whacking them apart. There's something really primal about barbecue. Yeah? Maybe that's why blokes like to barbecue. They sort of feel they're going back to the roots of the caveman or something. Yeah. But barbecues, which of course is not just meat, but meat is the core of most barbecue.
100%.
And it is something very, very primal. And you want to actually taste the smoke. Yeah. And you want to actually feel the juiciness in the meat. I think that nowadays we can do a lot of vegetables.
Massively.
On
get your halloumi out as well. Whack that on there, you know.
A corn on the cob must be one of the most fundamental things to do on a barbecue.
And I think with that, you look for the same thing in the wines, right? You're talking about juicy flavour, you're talking about high heat cooking, so smokiness, spice, richness. And I'm looking for both those things in these wines. That's exactly it. And also, I think there's two approaches, and I know that you agree with this, which is you either want light, refreshing, easy drinkability, or you want something with a bit of bold character. But as I said before, I don't necessarily want big, sort of mature Bordeaux or something, multi-layered things that evolve constantly. I want something that's got power, but it's got fresh acidity. So I want something that's made in the vineyard and has got vibrancy.
The French have got a wonderful word, gouléant.
Yes, exactly.
Gouléant means the wine flows down your throat. And they used to use it about Beaujolais in the times when we all used to drink Beaujolais. And there's another wonderful way that the French laugh and joke about drinking when they say, igloo, igloo, igloo. You can just feel the stuff flowing down your throat. Now that's what I want from the lighter
100%.
styles. And the heavier styles, one thing I don't want from the heavier styles is too much influence from aging in oak barrels. And now, let's talk about that in a moment, because what have you got here for us?
So, talking of not too much aging in oak barrels, of course, we have here Domaine de la Chapelle Les Jouers. So it's all in the name, it's here. Joyful,
this
from Chinon.
This shouldn't be from oak barrels at all, should it?
Look, you know, you and I both agree on this, I know from previous things. Chinon, in the Loire Valley, middle of the Loire, the iconic red wine destination of the Loire, working with the beautiful Cabernet Franc grape variety. What I love most about this region is it can produce elegance, it can produce finesse, it can produce lovely sort of gently, the kind of classic thing is almost graphite, pencil leady, gently spiced reds. But they don't necessarily need oak. They've got fruit quality to it already.
Raspberries.
What are you finding? Raspberries! Come on.
What a wonderful flavour to find in a red wine. And to me, no sense of oak barrel heaviness at all. No.
But it's got that granitic bit. It's got that lovely stony freshness to it as well. Beautiful wine.
The reason that the Loire Valley works for red wines is that it's on the west side of France. It's looking out to the Bay of Biscay, but it's about the last place which is warm enough to ripen red grapes, which need a bit more heat to ripen. You can only just ripen your red grapes in the Loire. So it means that you can make a wine at, let's say, 12.5% alcohol, which is fully ripe. And also you keep that freshness, you keep that juiciness, that crunchiness in the mouth. It's led by fruit, not by anything more sophisticated than that.
And there's a mouth-watering element to this. There's a Moorishness to this that I think is so lovely. It's packed full of that gentle blackberry fruit, raspberry, red berry fruit coming through it. It's got layers of just natural varietal funk and spice to it. And that, as I mentioned, the Moorishness of this, if you put this alongside ribs, if you've got some ribs with a little bit of a barbecue glaze, not ridiculously stickily so, but if you've just marinated some really nice pork ribs as you were whacking away at earlier, and you've got that texture, that gentle texture, that pull of meat, this has got exactly that same kind of lightness of tannin, gentle grip as you go, but it's easy. It's just so drinkable.
And yet it's got enough flavour, even though it's fresh and it's bright, easily got enough flavour to cope with anything. It's got enough flavour to cope with barbecue sauce, something we haven't mentioned. Because on the whole, when I'm actually at barbecues, I'm always looking for the bit of meat that hasn't got quite so much of that barbecue marinade.
Are you a charred sausage man?
I definitely am.
You are a charred sausage. There you go. Come on.
And I'll have charred sausage, hot or cold. I don't mind taking some charred sausages off, putting them out, hiding them somewhere until they've cooled down, and then eating them cold as well, when the fat started to coagulate on the sausage.
Exactly that. So that's what I'm after as well, is I think when you're doing a barbecue, I want different textures and different characters. I want a bit of chicken kicking around. I want a bit of halloumi kicking around. I want some vegetables kicking around. And, corn on the cob, as you say, but I also want some red meat, some richer, fuller texture. This has got all of those different layers of character.
And it's fresh.
Tension, the whole lot.
It's 12.5 alcohol.
Voila! Right.
That is a very
Next
lucky
wine. Here we go.
Blackcurrant bush.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't want to throw this away. It's just too good. One more small swig.
You have a swig.
Chinon, by the way, is in a beautiful, beautiful town in the Loire Valley.
Yeah.
And it does make some quite serious reds sometimes. But the wines, the vines that grew this wine are right down on the banks of the river, on rather sandy soils, where they just make what the French call gouléant reds. Gluey, gluey, glue, straight down the throat.
Now talk to me about this, Oz. I'm whipping you out of Chinon, and we're heading towards South Africa. Roodeberg. Does that ring any bells?
Oh,
come on.
Roodeberg. Now, there was a time when Roodeberg was the only South African wine that you would find in Britain. In those long years, Roodeberg there. It's probably the most famous brand name in South Africa.
Absolutely.
Roodeberg.
Made by KWV since 1949.
And in 1949, there were no real wine brands. So they said, develop a wine brand after the Second World War. And this bloke actually said, I'll develop wine brand number 1 and wine brand number 2. And they said, well, we need a name. And he'd been in Germany studying at Geisenheim. Geisenheim is a great wine school in Germany, and its best vineyard is called the Geisenheim Roten Berg, the Red Mountains. And he says the reason he chose Roodeberg, which is Red Mountain in Afrikaans in South Africa, is because he sat there watching the sun go down the mountains at Paarl, where the KWV headquarters are, a town in South Africa, and he just thought, the Red Mountains, Roodeberg, I'll call this wine Roodeberg. And it's worked.
It's worked. And do you know what I love about this? When you taste it, this is packed full of a range of different grape varieties. We've got Syrah in there. You've got Cabernet Sauvignon in there. You've got Durif. We'll do a roll call. But on paper, that should be power, and it should be dark black fruit and spice and tannin and richness and heft. And it's got some of that. It's got enough of that for barbecue. But it's actually structurally fresh. It's got elegance to it. It's actually not a billion miles away, weight and heft-wise, from our Chinon.
Yeah.
It's a really well-made, really well-balanced wine.
It's a brilliant wine, and it has been. I had this probably for the first time as a student, and I don't think it's ever let me down in all the years I've been drinking it. It does change. They do the blends each year. Always dominated by Shiraz. Now there's 39% Shiraz in this one. There might be 45% Shiraz in the next one. There might be 50% Shiraz in the next one. But it's not dominated by oak barrels. And for those of you who think this oak thing, why do you keep on talking about oak? Well, oak is a wonderful, wonderful wood to age wine in, but the danger with oak is that when you make a barrel, you have to toast the wood to bend it into a barrel shape. If you over toast that wood, you get too much chocolatey, burnt bread, burnt crust kind of flavour, too much coffee, mocha kind of flavour, and it completely dominates the wine. So what you want is a little bit of softness from the oak barrel, because oak barrel aging really softens a wine very nicely, but just a little, and that's this one has been 14 months in oak, but it hardly shows.
100%. And like all of us, it gets better with age. Stuff gets more elegant, it gets more nuanced. You're trying less hard, it's more natural. And I think, this is, as you say, this has got oak, it's got texture, it's got smoke to it, it's got roundness, buffed edges. There's no angularity and that sort of thing. It's a soft, supple, round style of thing. And you couldn't really get that without oak with these varieties, I don't think. But it's got to be in balance.
And it does show how South Africa is a brilliant place to make red wine. You're going to start throwing it away again, aren't you?
Here we go. Come on, it's done. There's there's a bride at a wedding just behind that bush. Unfortunately,
it's a bridegroom rather than a bride.
Exactly.
You couldn't get this in South Africa until 2004. It was only sold in export.
Oh, really?
And they said it was so rare that you could, if you had a few bottles of Roodeberg, you could actually trade it for tickets to Springbok test matches for a bottle of Roodeberg.
Come on.
It was that rare. And
there you go. I'd give away tickets to almost any sporting activity for a bottle of wine. That's. I can't think of a single sporting activity I'd swap them for. So yeah, if anyone does have that,
that's why you're such a sad person.
It is, isn't it?
You're very sad.
I'm just too into wine. It's basically that's it, isn't it?
And with a hairstyle like that, you won't be let into a sporting environment.
I think that's the problem. I think that's it. Historically,
me, they think I'm playing. Oh, you got another bottle open?
I've got another bottle open, and what are you up to? Come on, keep pace, sir.
Tell us
what kind of stag do is this that I've been dragged along on? Now, Delas. We are here with the brilliant Delas, and this is the Saint-Esprit Côtes-Du-Rhône 2023. It's a very nice blend from across the Rhône Valley. We're back in France, and I know from chatting with you previously, we both agree, pretty much for the last decade and a half, the Rhône has delivered time and time again incredible value in France. If you're looking for just consistently high quality, easy drinking often styles of reds with enough heft for a barbecue, the Rhône is pretty much delivering every time.
It's an enormous area of France. It's one of the biggest wine areas in the whole of France. And I absolutely agree with you. It's a mixture of companies like Delas, who is a really good operation, owned, by the way, by a champagne house.
Yes, exactly.
And they're in the northern part of the Rhône, which is the smaller part, where they grow the Syrah grape. Now, the Syrah grape is very aromatic. It's very full of dark blackcurrant and blackberry kind of fruits, lots and lots of perfume, and it's much, much more dominant in the north. In the south, where everything gets hotter and the Rhône Valley spreads out, you've got a grape called the Grenache, and the Grenache is a sort of sugar machine. It builds up enormously powerful, strong flavoured wines. Just by itself, it's a bit too heady and too much of a mouthful.
Yeah, it can be.
You put the rather more sophisticated Syrah with it, and it's a tremendous blend.
So this is a north and south Rhône blend, and the weighting of this is mainly Syrah, I think is what they're telling me. But when I taste it, there is the black fruit, there is the spice, there is that richness of Syrah, the barbecue readiness of Syrah. But there's a big old juicy bit of Grenache rolling around in there, isn't there? There's this lifted, again, raspberry. We're back in raspberry, strawberry, uplifting red berry fruit territory.
What's interesting is that actually, I get a tiny bit of smoke in it. It may just be I'm breathing
There is a
in,
touch of smoke.
in
I'm with you.
the
Yeah.
smoke, but I think
Yeah.
there's a bit of smokiness in
Exactly.
because the Grenache and the Syrah, both of them can actually bring smoky flavours. The Syrah used to be known for its coal tar kind of flavours.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anyone knows what coal tar is anymore, but in the days when they did, Syrah was supposed to have a slightly tarry quality.
What I love about that is it's got a viscosity, it's got a richness, there's a slight natural sweetness of fruit to it. And I think that, again, we're going back to barbecue sauce and that sort of thing would work beautifully. All of these, if you've got beef or you've got something with a bit of fat to it and you're cooking it through and or lamb, oh my goodness, if you did like a slow cooked lamb, and now we're going a bit of shoulder, render the fat down.
Yeah.
This will sit so beautifully, like a sort of red currant sauce might sit alongside it, fruit-wise. But there's still acidity, there's still freshness,
That's the point.
and there's
Acidity.
chewy tannin. There's not strong, heavy, boisterous tannin.
You've got
It's
all this
chewy.
fruit. You've got a bit of perfume there, which with the Syrah coming through, but you've got acidity, and it's ending up at 13% alcohol.
Yeah.
Now, I think this is why these Delas guys from the north of the Rhône are really good. They've got a champagne ownership. They understand refreshing flavours. They understand the need for something to cut through.
100.
And therefore, I think they're a past master at making a wine with a little less alcohol, a little more freshness.
I agree.
And easily enough flavour to go with any barbecue I can think of.
So Oz, I'm saying that is your barbecue red wines wrapped up.
Wrapped up.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is just one of our WineAlive Summer Sipping Series videos with Oz Clarke and me, Tom Surgey. If you'd like to know more about the wines we've tasted, head over to our blog at wine-alive.com and check out our other videos. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And thanks again for watching. We hope you sip splendidly this summer.